Welcome back. Today's an exciting day because it's finally body kit day. This one's carbon, it's come from halfway around the world and it's going to define this car. It's the whole reason I started the Subaru build in the first place. The cost? You don't want to know. I'm doing my best to try and forget it. It's been shipped from Ireland and it's finally sitting in my backyard. Come on, let's go check it out. Yeah boy, there she is. I'm kind of shocked how small it is, but everything should be in there. Front and rear bumper, front guards, front lip, sills. I ordered a fancy ass gear knob and there should be some big boy WRC bonnet vents in there too. Ah, check this out. You can smell the glues and the carbon fibre and the wood, and this is one exciting day. There it is. I couldn't help myself. I had to lay it out. Everything seems to be there and it appears to be completely undamaged. The next thing, I'm going to file this into the car and then take it straight to the workshop. These are such exciting days. Moved a whole bunch of stuff. Put these down here. I want to open up a couple of Christmas presents. They're so incredibly lightweight. So these have come halfway around the world from a company called The Project, who are based in Ireland. Jamie, who runs it, was building up an S5 competition car and he's putting in an amazing amount of work. You follow him on Facebook or Instagram and this car is incredible. I have never had carbon fibre panels before. I've had fiberglass panels and that's partly why I went with these. The fiberglass panels, they've got divots in them, they're flexible. I personally don't think they're a great option. They're an affordable option, 100%. If that's what you can afford, go for it. The car that these are going on to, these are the most expensive things for that car. But check it out. It's so good. The details are just incredible. Check out how big the bonnet vents are. They are so big. Look at the size of it. I'll show you the size difference. It's a monster. I mean, I knew that they are a different size, but I was thinking like maybe an inch bigger. So I got that one to go, obviously one on this side as well. They didn't change that in the S5. In here, there are some goodies. The right-hand side, those are the fog light covers. This is the badge holder for the bumper. And in here, I have a ProDrive 6-speed gear knob. I'll show you that later. This is the piece that I was probably most excited about. This is the rear spoiler, all done in carbon. I'm 100% going to unwrap this and have a look at it. I'm curious to see what sort of size difference it is compared to the genuine one that's on the car. Here we are, the rear spoiler. The spoiler is not adjustable like I think the P1 wings are, but it's so nice. It's actually super similar to the original one. So here it is, the beginnings of the project car. 1997 or 1998 Subaru Impreza S5. Front guards, front bumper, rear spoiler, probably the rear bumper can all go on pretty easy enough. It's these rear quarter panels which are going to be quite difficult to install. What I have to do is chop out this whole guard. Rear guards are so pumped out. That's going to look so awesome. It's time to get rid of that box. That's my flatmate Ashton. He's giving me a hand. Come on! Well, that was kind of anticlimactic. What's your tool of choice? Sledgehammer. You know, that was a very expensive box.
Was it?
Today's going to be a good day. It's the day that we start installing all the carbon fibre bodywork to the car. I want to get the front guard, bumper, the rear bumper, then if I get that far, maybe the spoiler as well. And if I can install the vents into this bonnet, so I need to chop that up, and I don't know if I have all the right cutting tools or not. I might attach the guards to the front bumper. That's probably a good idea because I'll be able to see exactly where they fit, and then fit the guards, then fit the front bumper, see if there's any clearance issues, and then move on to the rear bumper. But first, I want to move the car into the corner of the workshop, and then let's get cracking. Look at the goodness, they're so awesome. Yeah boy, let's get it onto this thing. That is up. I'm kind of playing around with positions in the workshop where I want to hoist, but I'm kind of thinking off to the side there. I don't know if I'm going to have to modify this front bar or not. I hope not. Put the front bumper on, front guards, and go from there. Front left. I'll tuck that bad boy up in here. How's she looking? I can actually see where the bolts used to be marked, so I'm going to mark those, drill them, and see how we go. Just going to mark about the appropriate place for these holes. What did I say? Measure twice, cut once. You can kind of see where the original holes were, so I'm going to mark the center of those and then just make sure that they line up with the hole once I've put it in place. So it looks like it needs to go back a little bit, which would relate to this because I need to close that up as well, so that'll shift the whole thing backwards, which should line up those holes. Same thing with these. Oh, mate, I think they're going to be perfect. I've just decided to cut once and measure not at all. I'm just hoping that quality of the stuff, it looks really good, so I'm just hoping the holes are going to line up, and if they don't, I can just slot them a little bit. Let's get some bolts. On baby. I did drill 6.5mm holes, so hopefully everything will be alright. Push that up into there. That's 1, that's 2, 3. Front guard is pretty much on. I do need to slot a number of holes, one being up here, one of these, and then possibly both of these as well, because I bolted those in and then the door wouldn't clear the panel, so that's clearly wrong. I'm going to fit this front liner, which I got with the kit, to put that in, figure out exactly where this is going to sit, because I don't know if this sits in relation to here. I don't know if that sits forward or backwards, so once I get that liner in, I have a better understanding, and then I can figure out where those holes are supposed to go. I need to remove these. I am going to keep all my, this is the airbag wire, but I'll need to tuck those up a little bit further. If I need to run 18s, I need to get as much clearance as I can. So I fit the inner guard. I'm assuming this is supposed to go on the outside of here. I'm actually not sure if I'm supposed to chop all of this out or if I'm going to have to if I run 18s. I really hope not, because that will be an issue with the rules and the regulations with New Zealand when you're building cars. So one thing I've had to do is modify this front bracket. I've managed to chop some of this off because the bumper's actually hitting in here. But what I'm going to do is cut a couple of slices in here and actually tap it in. Without heating this up really hot and then beating it with a hammer, I'm kind of getting nowhere. I don't have my torch with me, so I need to put a couple of cuts in here and then push it down, and then I'll weld it all up. And the same goes with this side here. Bumper and guards are on. The whole bumper actually needs to shift over about 3mm because it's not centered. It's on. It's taken me a lot longer than I expected. That seems to be the case with everything that I touch on this car. I'm going to have a bit of a break from this and then probably get onto that rear bumper. Once I've done that, I'll look at these sills. Time for the rear bumper, which is that bad boy right there. I have no idea if those are standard mounts or not for this car, but I'm hoping that they are. First step, remove the wheels, get those clips off, rattle gun off the bumper iron. Bad boy. Oh, good. Okay. Yep, that's the three. I want to show you how I have to open the boot. It doesn't have a spoiler, so it pops up real fast. This is the technique. You have to pull it and then run and stop it before it comes and slams itself up. It's always a game, every time. I'm about 70% success rate. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh. Got it. I could just actually remove the springs that are in there, but you know what? That works for me. Check this cool thing out. I assume that you could unbolt this, but no, you can't. But check it out. She's a bit stiff because it hasn't been done for a long time. That's pretty damn cool. I just like a good design. This should just come straight off. Oh, here she comes. Do you know anyone who wants to buy a Type R bumper? And are these bumpers the same as all the WRXs? No idea. All right. Any accident damage? It looks pretty clean to me. I mean, filthy, but like not bent. Let's see if that bumper's gonna fit. I don't see any of the mounting points that it uses. So excuse the mess, but I've just tried fitting that bumper, and the first issue is this whole thing has to be drilled out. I don't have my spot rivet drill bit. I don't know what you want to call it. Spot weld drill bit, that's probably what it's called. I don't have that at the moment. Might try and draw them out, but they got me thinking. That number plate I can just attach to the back here, so that's no problem. But then when it comes to the front, I actually don't have a place for a number plate. I could get a sticker and put it on here, which would be ideal, but the problem is that that is illegal in New Zealand. You have to run the plate that they give you. You can get a smaller one, so I'll probably do that. I don't know where I'm going to put it. I don't really like the idea of off-center. I don't know, first world problems. Righto, so I've just had a look online. I can buy one, but it's going to have to be tomorrow because it's late, so I'll have to deal with that tomorrow. At the moment, I'm going to have a tidy up because everything is looking pretty bad. Surprised I haven't had a game of lose a tool or lose a part yet. Let's have a tidy up, and then maybe I might look at maybe putting those sills on. So moving on to the sills, the reason why I want to do this before I attach the back part of the guard to the A-pillar is because these sills, I don't know what you want to call it, the wavy bits. And the wavy bits here, I'm pretty sure will correspond to the wavy bits here. So I need to get this on because that is going to dictate exactly how far up the sill goes. So I'm going to have to get that guard to come back or forward to match that position. This sits underneath that. I'll start with the side, remove that, put the sill up into here, and then just see how it sort of sits in relation to that piece there. Because you can see there's a lip. This section here will actually sort of slide over that. You'll have to excuse the shitty camera work. Take this off, fit this, see where it is in relationship to that. You know, I've just realized this fuel line here is ridiculous. I've been leaving it there because I like the idea of starting the engine and trying to figure out if it's healthy or not, but it is ridiculous. It needs to come out. I'm better than that. This is a non-spark zone, non-smoking. I'm gonna let that drip overnight. I do not want to start a fire because I will have a few colleagues here. A firefighter burning his own workshop down is a terrible, terrible look. So I have removed that trim piece and I've actually fit this and put a couple of small little vice grips in there. That fits in there perfect. When we come up here, we should be able to find out exactly what we need to do with this front guard. That needs to move back a bit and pretty much fit there. So I already drilled that hole probably a little bit too early, but hopefully it's not too far off. Oh, I love it when things work out. I just had to round that hole off in there just a slight amount. This wants to sit here, which means I'm going to have to do a little bit of work just down in this area to keep this guard off there. But let's pull this off, and I'm actually curious to see if this door closes. Apparently the door does miss, but only just. I need to get this up in here. It's way too tight, and then it's actually way too loose down here too. That is the end of part one. In part two, we have some fun installing that big, beautiful rear carbon wing, the rear bumper, and those gargantuan sized bonnet vents. Now, I am not a professional panel beater, but this is how I'm doing it, and so far it's worked out okay. That said, I do make a couple of mistakes in part two. Kind of sucks, but we'll move on and work through it. I'd love to hear your own experiences with body kits. Good, bad, infuriating? Comment below, and if you've enjoyed the last 15 minutes or so, hit the like, subscribe to the channel, and then come along for the ride. Until next time, I look forward to catching you later.